What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Will and D. I'm here with my buddy Jeffrey from Only Talk Sports. He's doing his Joe Montana stream. He's not feeling well, but he's still in good. We're still in good spirits here. We're ready to talk some college football bowls, and we're gonna touch on some other things too.
Appreciate that, Will. Can't wait to get into the games. Yeah, not feeling 100%, but we're going to try to give it 110% on the stream. Going to be previewing a lot of games. It's going to be fun. Bowl season, it's not even halfway through yet, but we're going to be over halfway done doing most of the games. We're going to do the CFP next week, but get the New Year's Six done tonight and other bowl games, and got some other stuff to talk about too. It's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. And just, of course, National Signing Day happened. We'll look at the rankings here. Georgia once again won. Georgia this year got number 1, Bama number 2, as you would expect. Those two
Not a
are up
shock.
there. Yeah, even with Dylan Raiola going to Nebraska, big pickup for the Cornhuskers. Georgia is still number 1. Miami of Cha-Ching, number 3. Ohio
Will it
State.
translate to wins, though? That's the thing. Will it translate to wins? It didn't for Texas A&M, and now they're nowhere to be seen on this list.
Mm-hmm. Ohio State at 4. Oregon, Cha-Ching, they're another one. Texas. That's a little low for Texas. They're usually a bit higher.
Auburn at number 7. Hugh Freeze. Back in action.
Oklahoma at 8.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State at 10. At 9. Notre Dame at 10. And
Not bad for
LSU
the Fighting Irish.
LSU at 11. Brian Kelly saying it's much easier to recruit at LSU.
Oh man, that right there, that's good. That is so good. Notre Dame just squeaking right above LSU.
Yeah. Saying that, we have to recruit a different type of kid to recruit at Notre Dame. We can't go for the 4 or 5 stars. All right, Mr. Kelly. No 5 stars.
Have a 5-star.
No 5 stars. Cam Williams, receiver from the Chicago area, 5-star pickup for the Irish.
That's definitely good for Marcus Freeman. And like with all these teams, you got to have it translate to wins, because if not, then it doesn't matter, especially if half of them transfer like the A&M players in the 2022 class.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Jason said right here. Half of those Miami kids are just going to go shopping in Bell Harbor for a semester, then enter the portal next December. I know. I mean, it's not going to do any good if they all leave. You got to be able to keep the players and have them develop and, be able to help your program win.
Mm-hmm. Just going to scroll a little further. We got Clemson, Tennessee, Penn State, Michigan, Florida, Texas A&M. USC at 18 has some Trojan fans concerned about Lincoln Riley and his ability to recruit.
Yeah, USC was very worried the other night talking about all those players leaving the program and going, like a lot of talented players. And are they going to be able to replace those guys? Because, again, if they do get a guy like Will Howard, they're going to have a better defense. They just cannot, be able to hope that Will Howard's going to be Caleb Williams 2.0, because it's not going to happen. They're going to need an improved defense to be able to have any success.
Yeah. They're going to need D'Anthony Lynn to really up that defense.
South Carolina at number 20.
Mm-hmm.
Not too bad.
Ole Miss killing in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky
at 25.
Right above Carolina.
Yeah, not bad for Mac Brown. Not bad.
We have Purdue at 29.
Stanford at 30. Mm-hmm. Mississippi State at 33. Washington at 36.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're going to have to go further for Indiana to show up. They're way down there. Even with Cignetti's additions, they're still way down there. South Florida's at 48. That's pretty good for them.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're looking for Indiana. There's Louisville.
Louisville at 57. My goodness, 61. There they are. Indiana, 1 4-star recruit, Tyler Cherry. I will say, though, Indiana does have the 22nd ranked transfer class. I did see that.
There we go.
So they have the 61st overall class, but the transfer class is 22nd. So not too bad. the locale.
All right, we're gonna. All right. In big news for my Irish, Mike Denbrock coming back to Notre Dame to replace Jared Parker. This makes me happy for a number of reasons. I mean, just as a hire by itself, it's a home run hire. Like, I don't think Notre Dame could have done much better than Mike Denbrock, especially with coaching him from LSU. Jack Swarbrick, Notre Dame athletic director, still bitter at Kelly the way that he left, giving him the little frick you on the way out for retirement.
Yeah, you mentioned the offensive coordinator from Missouri.
That was their second choice. I thought
that was their second choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they end up going with the LSU guy that used to be with the program. So that's good. I mean, if anything, that will up that offense because they really struggled, to get, plays downfield, explosive plays. If they can improve on that next year with some of the new talent that they're bringing in.
New receivers from the portal. Yeah, new receivers from the portal. Cam Williams, I think he's going to do some things as a freshman. We got Riley Leonard's also more mobile. Offensive line should be better this year. Just a lot of the veteran guys that didn't do well, and a lot of the new recruits looked like they were doing better. I mean, they were playing against Wake Forest and Stanford, but they were looking but they did look promising.
Yeah, you don't know how good a player really is until you meet a top 10 team, especially from like the SEC or whatever, the Big Ten. So we'll definitely see the improvement for Notre Dame. I mean, I think they'll be better for sure on offense if Riley Leonard stays healthy because he's good. I mean, he's a talented player, but health is key. He cannot get injured.
Yeah, especially with the new receivers. Obviously, we're going to miss Audric Estime, but Jeremiah Love, he was close to Bama wanted him pretty bad, and he ended up going to Notre Dame. So he's going to be starting against Oregon State at running back, and he's super explosive. So I don't know. I think the Irish should be a 12-team playoff. Really no excuse to not make the playoffs next year. I mean, you just got to win 2 out of the 3 for sure. Maybe you can get in with 2 losses, but it's Florida State, USC, Texas A&M. Got to win 2 out of those 3 to make the playoffs for sure.
I will say, though, the only negative about the 12-team playoff, too, there's a few, but especially you can't say the narrative is, well, we made the playoff. It's super impressive, right? Because now more teams can make it. So it's like for some of these big programs, like if you're Alabama, like in the future, if Nick Saban's not the coach and whoever's the coach after that and you're making bowl, you're making the playoffs or whatever, and you go like 10-2, they'll be like, well, it's not what Nick Saban did. It's not good. It's not as good. So it's like making the playoff won't be as impressive, but still for Notre Dame, who everyone's always saying they're not elite. They're not like Ohio State. They're not like Alabama. I think making the 12-team playoff every year would be or almost every year would be a success.
Yeah. And especially winning a game. Like, I feel like, especially like the first round games are going to be at home, right? For the higher seed. Yeah. So like, should be able to win a playoff game at Notre Dame Stadium for sure.
Yeah, that definitely would help.
Yeah.
Hey, traveling fools. Appreciate you stopping by. Todd Gwynn as well. Appreciate it.
Merry Christmas. Eve.
Yeah, we're getting there. We got 3 days to go. Christmas around the corner. We got a lot of great football action and basketball action. If you like college basketball and NBA, it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas for sure.
All right. And I think we're going to be starting off our bowl prediction with Clemson and Kentucky. This is an interesting game because yes, Clemson's probably the better program and the more talented team, but Kentucky has like no opt-outs. I don't think there's any opt-outs for Kentucky in this one, so that makes it interesting.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now because I gotta find out. Ooh,
Ray Davis is staying. Devin Leary.
Maybe these guys are not impactful, They probably aren't, but I'm going to try to pull this up real quick, and hopefully my computer will hold on. But this is not good. If the opt-outs page is correct, you've got 5 guys for Clemson, and then Kentucky, they've got, I think, around 9. But I don't know if any of these guys are really that important. So, I mean, Clemson's favored by 4.5 or 5.5 according to the opt-outs page. On yours, it says 4.5.
It's different on DraftKings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it says 4.5 there. So I don't know. I mean, Cade Klubnik, he's not bad, right? Everybody talks about how he hasn't become what people were expecting, but he's been fine. Ray Davis is a great player, but you could tell against good defenses, he was neutralized. Like, he didn't put up the stats he did against Florida and the no tackling game that the Gators put out there versus what he did against, Georgia. Like, they stuffed him. Will Clemson's defense be able to shut him down? Because Kentucky's passing attack is not all that. So it's going to be an interesting game. I'll let you pick first, though, because I've kind of gone back and forth on this one.
I mean, Clemson's coming in hot. They were on a winning streak. I'm going to go with the Tigers to win 20. I'll go 28-24.
Yeah, that is a great point because Clemson at the beginning of the year, they were not very good. And then they played North Carolina. They played Notre Dame down the stretch, and they just were looking like the second best team in the ACC, even better than Louisville. So that is, good for them. And you can tell, like, Dabo Swinney runs a program where these players, they're going to care. And a lot of them are playing, and they do want to win this game because, Clemson had a down year, and they want to finish it out in the right way, build some momentum for next season. It's hard to bet against the SEC. I know it's cliche that those words will make the real happy. Don't bet against the SEC in bowl games, but usually you don't. But Kentucky's not one of those teams, though. They're good. But we've seen them play Iowa in bowl games recently, and some of them have gone their way, some haven't. They just struggle. They just don't look like a program that can hang with a team like Clemson if Clemson's playing well. Like you said, Will, since they finished their season strong, I'll go with Clemson to continue that. They don't have too many opt-outs. They're favored. And the game is going to be closer to them than it is Kentucky, being in Jacksonville, Florida. I'll go with Clemson to beat Kentucky 28-21.
All right, now on to my guys, the Fighting Irish and Notre Dame, taking on the Beavs, Oregon State Beavers. I'm feeling pretty good about this game, honestly. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited to see the young guys for the Irish, of course. We're getting into the talented Marcus Freeman recruits now with the opt-out. So even though they're opt-outs, I'm just so excited to see the young guys, the talented freshman class come in.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, see, the problem is that Oregon State, they don't have the depth that Notre Dame has.
Yeah.
Because you were mentioning, yeah.
They have DJ opting out, Aiden Childs opting out, Damian Martinez driving under the influence. Without having one of those two quarterbacks in Martinez, I just can't see the Beavers getting much done offensively.
Plus, they don't have their coach. Jonathan Smith's gone. He's going to Michigan State. And it just feels like Oregon State. I've talked about this on Twitter for the last week about all this stuff going on with Oregon State, Washington State. They're joining the West Coast Conference in basketball and in football. Obviously, it's been announced for a while that they're having the schedule with the Mountain West. It just seems like Oregon State's falling apart. They have to join the Big 12 in the next couple of years, or this program is going to fall apart. They might be able to win at a Group of 5 level fairly solidly, but they're never going to be one of the bigger programs ever again if they don't move to the Big 12 soon. So I think that looking at Oregon State, they don't have the depth that Notre Dame does. Notre Dame has a lot of talent, and in the opt-outs, there's a lot of guys opting out for Notre Dame. But like you said, they've got a lot of talent behind it. Oregon State, their main guys, no Damian Martinez either because he got in trouble, which, again, was not great for him or Oregon State. No Jonathan Smith. and Notre Dame's favored by 6.5. I think Notre Dame will beat Oregon State as well, 31-17. I think it will be a fairly comfortable win. If Oregon State had all their players and they had Jonathan Smith, it would be interesting. It'd be a great game with Notre Dame having some opt-outs. If it was fully healthy both ways, I'd probably go Notre Dame. Even though Oregon State is solid, they really are. But with everything at hand here in Oregon State in bad shape with no Jonathan Smith and all the players out, there's no way they're going to win unless Notre Dame plays awful football.
Yeah, and I mean Notre Dame fans, like, they sold out this game pretty fast. Although maybe, I don't know, maybe some people are giving away their seats, $14. But I know, like, on Twitter they said, "Oh my gosh, we sold out the game already."
Yeah, you gotta hype it up. Gotta hype up the game for sure. Merry Christmas to you too, West Virginia Mountaineer. Appreciate that.
On the USC show, I said 45-17 Irish. I'll stick with that, but it'll probably be a little closer than that. That was a bit of a homer pick on my part. But.
I mean, you could be right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think last year we all picked South Carolina to beat Notre Dame in the bowl game, and you went Notre Dame. So, you know, the SEC didn't win out there. I should have went with the Irish, but I'm going with the Irish this year. So don't let me down, Will. You've let me down a few times this year.
That game almost gave me a heart attack, but we still won the game. We still won.
That was a good game. That rest in peace to South Carolina after that game because they have not been good since.
Yeah. All right, Memphis, Iowa State.
Spread is Iowa State by 10.
I picked Memphis before. I don't know. Let's look at the opt-out.
That is
on
steep.
My ESPN game.
That is very steep. I'm actually kind of shocked that there are, you know, that big of a difference in the spread when you're talking about the game being literally in Memphis. It's the Liberty Bowl. You've got these guys out for Iowa State. None of the names are striking off the page. Memphis, kicker, backup quarterback. I mean, it doesn't seem like anybody too substantial. I mean, I guess they're just going off the fact that Iowa State is, you know, a Big 12 school, and they had some good games this year. And you talk about Memphis. I mean, Memphis was okay this season. I mean, I don't really think they beat anybody that was that great. I don't exactly remember their entire schedule, but I'm still shocked the spread's Iowa State by 10. Especially with the game being in Memphis, just the Liberty Bowl. You would feel like the spread would be like -5 Iowa State. That is very steep.
So I mean, Memphis, they don't have any big wins, but they play Missouri, Tulane, and SMU all pretty close.
Boise State's probably their best win.
Yeah.
But, I mean, most of their wins are against bad teams. I mean, they beat North Texas, UAB, South Florida. I mean, South Florida, you know, I got to give some props to South Florida. They blew out Syracuse. Congratulations. But I don't know. There's not a lot.
Why did we pick Syracuse?
I shouldn't have done it. I mean, why go with the ACC unless it's Clemson or Florida State? Why do it? Like that.
Well, at least Georgia Tech came through for me.
Yeah, I mean Georgia Tech. I mean, come on, ACC, just be more consistent. That's why they're trying to poach Florida State. Is West Virginia Mountaineers says, "Hey, what do you think Florida State's going to leave?" I think eventually.
I don't know. It's messy, man. I think they'll leave, though. I think they'll win.
I don't know when, like right now, but I think in a few years, yes.
What's up, LV? Thanks for tuning in, man. Happy that
I'm just not impressed though with Memphis' schedule. To me, there's just not enough there. So I get why it's -10.
-10's too much. I don't know.
I would go with -6, but I understand why it's -10. I don't think it should be that high, but I get it. I'll go with Iowa State to win 31-28. I'll be nice to Memphis, say they're going to cover because I'm with you. I do think it's a bit too steep. I get why they have it that high, but Iowa State is not a juggernaut. They're not a juggernaut team. You know, they're a solid program. Matt Campbell, you know, had a better year this year. Rocco Beck's a good quarterback. I mean, he actually played fairly solid. Is he a great quarterback? I don't think he is, but I think he's a good quarterback with room for improvement. Seth Hennigan is a solid quarterback for Memphis as well. And they do have a good ground game. And I do feel like Memphis overall was a better team a couple years ago than they are now. They're not as good right now. They're still solid. And I agree with Jay. So don't pick teams bound what league they're in. Syracuse didn't have anyone who could score a touchdown. Madden, let alone a real game. Yeah, I mean, but we were going off if Schrader played. And plus, we didn't know South Florida's defense was going to be that imposing. But I get your point. It's going to be close, but like I said, I'll go with Iowa State in a close one, 31-28.
I don't know. I'll stick with my Memphis pick. I don't know. I could regret this, but like Seth Hennigan's a good quarterback. Like I just don't think Iowa State's offense is all that. And I mean, I know their defense is all okay. I don't know. I could regret this one, but I'll go 38. I'll go 31-28 Memphis.
Yeah, I almost went with Memphis because they've had
Minus
some
10 is
success
too
in bowl
much. I don't
games,
know.
and they're being
I might actually
basically
bet
at home, so that helps. But Iowa State was fairly solid this year. But if Memphis does win, it wouldn't surprise me because they're in the Liberty Bowl. It would not surprise me at all. But they've also lost games in the Liberty Bowl.
Yeah.
So it's not like they always win. It's not like it's an automatic win. If they were like 7 or 8 in a row at the Liberty Bowl, then I would pick them because, yeah, you can't go against that. But it's not like they never lose there. So they do. So I think Iowa State will squeak it out. But Memphis, if they play a good game, and like you said, if Iowa State doesn't have a perfect offensive game, they could lose. But I'll go with Iowa State.
Mm-hmm. All right. So will the opt out? Can Ohio State overcome their opt outs and beat Missouri?
Man, this is a game that I've had a tough time with because you know good and well that if there was no opt outs, Ohio State would be favored by like 10 or 14.
It's a pick 'em, man. It's Ohio State minus a half of a point.
I saw Missouri favored by 1 the other day. So now Ohio State's favored by a half. So what's going on? Why did that line shift a little bit? And it's in Arlington, Texas. So, I mean, it's, not going to, I guess, really help either team. Missouri's closer, but Ohio State has more fans. I mean, this is going to be tough. I'm going to look at the opt-outs real quick because, I mean, that is important. You got for Missouri, you've got 6 guys. I don't really think any of these guys are super important. Obviously, you don't have the running back for Missouri, Corey Schrader. And then you've got Brady Cook. None of those guys, they're playing. None of those guys are opting out. And for Ohio State, they booted out Kyle McCord, got him out of there. Julian Fleming not playing. So Marvin Harrison Jr., why is he not on this list? He's not playing, right?
Has he declared yet? Has he not declared yet?
I'm going to look because I don't see him on the list, but there's no way Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to play in this game. There's no way because he's going to be a top pick. I don't see him playing. Let me look real quick. Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't know. Have you heard anything on him?
I can look. I can do a quick search.
There was an article on December 7th says he's undecided, but that was 15 days ago. Jason says he hasn't declared. Not sure what he's waiting for. So that's what Jason says. So is there a shot he plays? I don't see him playing. I mean, why would he play?
Unless if he's coming back.
But, I mean, he's draft eligible. Why would he come back? There's no way.
He grew. His dad was a receiver for the Colts. Like he has some money. I guess maybe he doesn't really care about the money. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he could also want to win.
Yeah.
Maybe against Michigan, but I don't know. I mean, is that actually substantial enough to keep him in college? I mean, I don't know. I mean, if Marvin Harrison's playing, that would potentially sway my pick here. But I don't trust it because how many guys have we been on the fence on whether they're going to play or not, and then they decide that they're not? You just don't know. Who's going to play at quarterback? Is it Devin Brown?
Yes.
Is he going to play? So
yes.
Devin Brown, he doesn't have a lot of experience, though. Man, I don't know. I'm afraid to go Mizzou. I really am. But they got the guys. They've got the players. But do you remember that Ohio State-Utah game? a couple years ago in the Rose Bowl. Ohio State found a way to win that one, despite having a lot of guys that didn't play. Remember when that was Jackson Smith and Jake?
But that was when they had I mean, Utah was having to play the wide receivers at defensive back.
True. And Missouri doesn't really have that problem.
Yeah.
Man,
I'm going
like
Mizzou
you
31-28. I'm going with the Tigers.
I'm like you. I could regret this with Memphis, but I'll go with Missouri to win 35-28. I'll go with Missouri because Ohio State has all those guys out. But don't be surprised if the Buckeyes find a way.
Man, imagine how much that if Michigan beats Alabama and Missouri beats Ohio State, how insufferable the Michigan fans would.
Oh no, Twitter would melt. Buckeye Twitter would fall apart. Oh man, Missouri is not as good of a team. We know that by far.
Yeah.
But because of the circumstances and the fact Missouri's going to be motivated, Ohio State probably won't be as motivated. I think Missouri will get it done.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got the Peach Bowl, Ole Miss and Penn State. This will be a good game because I mean, not as many guys that are going to the draft.
Yeah, Penn State, I think, is that line by 4?
Yeah,
it's hard to see. So line by 4. Try to check the opt-outs real quick. You've got a few guys from Mississippi. The kicker, Caden Cox, I think he was a starting kicker. That's interesting. Yeah, Penn State about 3.5. And they got one guy in the draft, 2 guys in the portal. So, I mean, obviously, Drew Aller's playing because he's not draft eligible yet.
Jackson Dart's probably coming back. I don't think he would be picked.
And Jackson Dart, I mean, this is why with a lot of quarterbacks, you know, a lot of these guys that are on the fence, like borderline picks, they need to come back because this draft class is too heavy at QB. If you're not certain you're going to be a top 4 pick, gotta come back. So yeah, Jackson Dart should come back. He should not declare. But so the fact you got both quarterbacks, I mean, do you trust Lane Kiffin or James Franklin more? Because I'm sure people have, qualms with both because they're both a little tough to rely on in these big games. But, I mean, Lane Kiffin might be a little more trustworthy. But, hey, Penn State got the big win last year against Utah in the Rose Bowl. But that was also with Cam Rising getting injured in the game, and that really tilted it Penn State's way. Maybe Penn State would have won anyway. We'll never know.
Jeffrey, this is a choke bowl. This is a choke bowl, man. This is a
yeah. And I mean, it's in Atlanta, Georgia, so I mean, you would think they'll benefit Ole Miss. Penn State has a big fan contingency. So, I mean, they probably still show up. I don't know. This is tough. I mean, Judkins is good on the ground, but will Penn State's D-line shut him down? I don't know. Yeah. If they shut him down, it's going to be, more on the arm of Dart. And, he's had a great season. I mean, he's had a really good year. A lot of people have not talked about the year he's had. And Ole Miss really, I think, did better than most people were expecting. I think a lot of people thought.
Yeah, and with the guys that they're guys that they're getting from the portal, next year's Ole Miss's year. Next year has to be their year.
This is tough, man. If you already made your pick, who
did I pick on? Who did I pick on the fantasy game?
I have no idea because I haven't even put my picks in yet. I haven't even done them yet.
I did it late, but who did I pick? Because I can't think of who to pick. It's too close. Who did I pick? I picked Penn State. So I'll stick with that pick.
Man, this is tough. What's your score?
I'll go 31-28 Penn State.
Doc's P says, y'all better pick I or I'm sending Eric after you both. That's funny. I'm having a tough time with this one because both teams are not super trustworthy. Not a lot of opt-outs, which is good. Do I trust Lane Kiffin or James Franklin more? I really don't know. I'm gonna go with Ole Miss. I'm gonna go with Lane Kiffin to win 31-28. I'm gonna go with Ole Miss. Jackson Dart, Sport Experience, and Drew Holler. They might shut down Junkins a little bit, but if Dart has a big day, I'm gonna go with Ole Miss. I could be wrong, but we'll go with Lane Kiffin to get a win over James Franklin. This is gonna be a good game, though.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. All right, Auburn and Maryland.
In the Music City Bowl.
Now Talia just opted out.
Yeah, because we and you, when we were going through these games a few days ago, looking at them, we were like, yeah, we're going Maryland probably when we do this. But no, I don't know. That's tough. Auburn lost to New Mexico State, but then they almost beat Alabama. I mean, that shows you the team Auburn is. I mean, are they gonna play in hard in this game? Because I mean, we saw them lose to New Mexico State 31-10, but then against Alabama, they gave it everything they had and they almost beat the Crimson Tide. If they play hard, they'll win. Without Tua's brother, though, that's gonna be hard. I'm gonna go with Auburn to win 24-21.
Yeah, I want Maryland to win, but I'll go 20. I'll go 31-21.
I don't know why he's not playing, to be honest. He's one of those ones that doesn't really make sense. I mean, you would think this game would help boost any type of draft stock possibly. I mean, he's not going to get picked high with all the quarterbacks in this draft.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Maryland does with MJ Morris next year.
Probably not going to do as well, but you never know.
Yeah. All right, Georgia, Florida State. Everybody opted out from Florida State. Everyone opted out.
Usually this is Georgia, right? Usually the opt-outs would be Georgia and Florida State have all the guys. This is ugly. 14.5-point favorite for Georgia. This is absolutely abysmal for Florida State. If you look at the opt-outs page, a lot of guys were Georgia. I mean, Vandegrift, obviously backup quarterback doesn't impact there. But, man, Jared Verse. You got, some very important players. There are a lot of guys for Florida State. There's more than the list they're showing here. Yeah, I mean, that spread's too deep. I mean, you're not going to have Travis. Carson Beck's playing, I'm assuming. So I'll go with Georgia to win 35-17. I don't think this game will be very entertaining.
I'll go 42-14.
Yeah, it stinks for Florida State. They had a very good year, but it's just going to end on a sour note because Georgia would have to either not play hard or tons more guys have to opt out between now and then for them to lose.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know how much more else we could say on this game. It stings. Like, this is just not going to be a good game, I don't think.
No. All right, we got to scroll down. Toledo and Wyoming in the Barstool Bowl. Here we go.
So is the CW network actually covering this game too?
I guess so.
Because it says CW/Barstool, so the CW curse effect is in play. You got Wyoming favored by 3.5, but see, here's the issue.
No Dequan, no Finn transferred.
But that hurts for Toledo because if he was playing, there's a really good chance that they win because Wyoming is not good away from home. They're good at home. They're good in Laramie, but other than that, they struggle. But you have Finn not playing. That's a bad blow because he's good. I thought Jason Candle was getting the IU job, but then Kurt Signetti got it. So that would have hurt Toledo too if he was gone. But that's another key point, though. The Wyoming coach is retiring. That's another thing. Craig Bowl. So I don't know if he's coaching this game or not.
I'm assuming he's going to coach.
I'm going to look.
Probably going to coach, right?
I would think he is because of the fact, it's his last game before he's retiring. But I don't think that he would miss it. It says he's in a former coach? Wow, what? No. Is he coaching in the bowl game?
I bet he was going to coach in the bowl game.
I mean, I just want to know. I mean, come on. I think he is. Yeah, he is. Okay. The article made it very hard to figure out. You had to scroll like halfway through just to see. Like they wanted you to read it, so like I had to find it. I don't know. Okay, so he is coaching.
Mm-hmm.
If Finn was playing, I'd pick Toledo, but I guess I will go with Wyoming 21-17. Reluctantly. I'm not confident in it, but I think Wyoming will succeed even though they're not at home because they struggle away from home, but I don't know if Toledo's backup quarterback will be able to pull them through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I'll also pick Wyoming 24-21 over. Yeah. All right. Wisconsin LSU.
Whoa, look at that line. Look at that line. 18 for LSU.
No, it's 10. I think it's just 10.
10, I can't see it. It's so small. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 10's still steep. 10 is steep. Yeah, let me look. I can't really see it. It's so small. Okay, 9.5 is what it says here. All right. I was about to say, that was like 18 is just ridiculous. 9.5, 10, that makes way more sense. Wisconsin has 3 guys according to the opt-outs page. LSU, 5 guys, including Jaden Daniels. That's the big key player. That's not LSU favored by 10 according to your there. So Jaden Daniels not playing gives Wisconsin a chance, but like Doc says, LSU just on roster talent alone. That's like the problem here. Wisconsin does not have anywhere near the talent LSU does. And LSU is kind of like Notre Dame. They've got a lot of guys behind the starters that are very talented as well. So, like, whoever's not going to be playing, there's talented guys that are going to be playing in this game. I'm assuming in it, Nussmeier, we mentioned him. He's going to be the quarterback. He's had some experience before. I'll go LSU 28-17.
Yeah, I'll go LSU 31-14.
Jason says Daniels was LSU's entire offense, so how would they even look without him? I mean, that's true. I mean,
Neighbors and Franklin didn't opt out, though. So.
That's what makes it a little bit tough. And the spread probably would be 18-20 if he was playing. That's why I couldn't see it. But, yeah, -10 still, you know, the odds makers believe LSU just has enough there. They don't believe in Wisconsin. Wisconsin, I just don't know if they're going to be able to put enough pressure. LSU's defense is weak, true, but Wisconsin's offense isn't that strong, so that kind of will cancel each other out, probably.
And I don't think – and Braylon Allen – and I think Braylon Allen – isn't he going to the draft?
That's true. Braylon Allen is not playing.
And Malusi's hurt.
Malusi's
hurt. Yeah, Malusi's
that's like their entire offense. And, yes, Malusi's out, so Wisconsin's not going to be able to run the ball.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Liberty in this game?
Yeah, I made a poll on Twitter. I think I said this last time, but 70% of people said it should have been SMU. That's why I picked SMU to beat Boston College by so much, because SMU is going to be angry. They should have been in this game. Oregon would still be favored, probably by around 9 or 10, maybe 11, 12 points, but it would be a better game. Liberty, you had a great season. But the thing that blows my mind, Will, and I know you've seen this online, but I've seen a lot of people say Liberty deserves to be in this game because of the fact that they won their games. They went 13-0. They deserve to make, you know, the New Year's Six. If you use that logic, then Florida State should have made the college football playoff because they won their games. So
why can't they be consistent? Why can't they be consistent?
That's hypocritical if Florida State doesn't make the playoff, but Liberty makes the New Year's Six. SMU's better, just like Alabama and Texas are better than Florida State, right? So
if Liberty would have played Liberty has a lot of money. It
makes no sense to me.
So they don't have to play anyone good to get money, because like teams in Liberty's conference, they play like Power 5 teams. They get enough money because they pay the bad teams to go and play.
It is what it is. I'm just saying that there needs to be consistency. If Florida State had made the playoff and then Liberty makes this, I wouldn't say a word, even though I would agree that Alabama should have been in the playoff over Florida State based off talent, but Florida State won the games. SMU's better than Liberty, but Liberty won the game, so I'd be fine with it. But since they didn't put Florida State in and they put Liberty here, it's just, again, very hypocritical. But it is what it is. You can't expect consistency in anything. But Oregon's favored by 17.5 for a reason. Now, I will say that Bo Nix, I haven't heard anything on him. He hasn't opted out, right? He's playing in this one. I think I might have saw that. He is playing.
Yeah,
right?
I believe he's playing.
Yeah, I think so, because I think I did respond to that, and I said, yeah, of course he's playing, because it's an easy game, right? So, I mean, it's nothing against Liberty. They're a good team. They've had a good year, but even though they went undefeated, they had a lot of close calls. I think Oregon, if Bo Nix is playing, which I think we both said he is, I'm pretty sure I saw that, Oregon's going to probably win 42-14. It's not even going to be close. Maybe that's a little exaggerated, but I think 42-14 could actually happen because Liberty.
Yeah, I'll go 45-17 just for kicks.
Yeah. Oregon has a lot of talent. I still think they were better than Washington, and that's nothing against Washington. I'm glad Penix made the playoff. Great story for Michael Penix and being from IU, had all the injuries, but Oregon, to me, was the better football team. So if they play to their potential and don't slack off in this game and they want to prove something, yeah, they're going to blow out Liberty.
Iowa, Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee's favored by 6.5, and hey, we got a little nudging going on in chat because he said Eric is going to be after us. If we don't, Doc said y'all better pick Armstead and Eric after you both. I mean, Iowa's, to be fair, they're the worst 10-win team in college football in the Power 5 probably. I mean, Louisville and Iowa are battling for that, but neither team's great. I mean, I'm just saying, Iowa, I know the Minnesota game with Cooper DeJean, that was bad. That was awful, and they should have won the game. But even then, if Iowa was 11-2, I still wouldn't think that they're that great. So the only way Iowa's going to win this game is if their defense scores for them. And that's basically what Doc says here. They'll need 2 scores on D to win, 110%. They have to score on defense because their offense isn't going to get it done. Jason says Iowa versus Tennessee I'd rather be doing literally anything else. But yeah, like the Iowa-Kentucky games, I mean, those were barn burners. I mean, Tennessee, everybody keeps saying they're the worst 8-4 team. They're horrible. They shouldn't be ranked. Tennessee is not the worst 8-4 team in college football. There's got to be a worse 8-4 team out there. Tennessee wasn't great, but they're not terrible. I mean, winning at the half in Tuscaloosa proves that they're not bad. I know people say Alabama was bad, but they're in the playoff. But Tennessee was winning on the road. They collapsed in the second half. Joe Milton, is he playing? That's the key. Let me look. I
don't think he's going to get drafted, so I think he's probably going to play.
Well, Sam Hartman might not either, and he's not playing for Notre Dame, so
that's
just making sure. Tennessee, don't see him. Iowa, nobody. Because, I mean, credit to Iowa. I mean, they got guys. They're committed to the team. Am I gonna dare? Am I gonna dare pick Iowa? I really don't know. I'm gonna let you go first, Will.
I've been a hater of Tennessee all year.
Oh man, just like people thought I was with Louisville, even though I don't hate Louisville. Just being serious. They weren't great.
I want to pick Iowa.
Doc says Iowa's 5 or 6 in the portal. That's what he says, even though the opt-outs page only showed 1.
But their offense is horrible.
Yeah, Iowa's offense, this is the worst offensive team to go 10-2 in the regular season in probably 50 years.
No, I mean, their last team that went, didn't they go 10-2 the year that they got killed?
Yeah, but was this offense worse than that year's offense? Probably was. I mean, their offense was like record-breaking bad. It was awful.
I don't know which one was worse.
I mean, Deacon Hill going out there throwing for 90 yards and they win somehow.
All right.
I don't know. It's in Florida, too. So, I mean, there's going to be more Tennessee fans.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when Indiana played Tennessee a few years ago.
Bro, if he
Tennessee
freaking
won
choked
game.
that game, man.
Indiana choked. Yeah, Tom Allen and Indiana blew
I
the
was
game.
rooting for
Indiana was up by
Indiana.
2 scores with 4 to go, and they blew the game. Onside kick and all. And Rocky Top was blaring. 85% of the fans there were Tennessee fans. There's not going to be a lot of Iowa fans there. Indiana.
Iowa travel's all right, but I don't know.
There should be more Tennessee fans, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I don't want to pick Tennessee.
Will Iowa's defense, though, put enough pressure on Joe Milton? Because, I mean, he crumbled at Florida earlier this year.
Yeah.
But, again, that was on the road in a hostile environment. I mean, Tennessee did destroy Virginia, for what it's worth, when North Carolina couldn't do it. Throwing North Carolina a little bit under the bus here, but still, like Tennessee, I mean, they had moments this year. The Missouri loss, though, I can't explain that one. 36-7 loss to Mizzou. But again, it was on the road. I mean, he's not good on the road. That was a road game, right, at Missouri?
I think so.
Yeah, if it was at home, I think it was on the road. So they're going to have a home crowd there helping them out.
I've been... Yeah, that was out on the road.
Mm-hmm. This is hard.
I want to pick Iowa so bad.
I want to pick Tennessee so bad just because Iowa's offense is that bad. But Tennessee just isn't good enough for me to securely pick them and feel confident in the pick. Because Iowa's defense, all it takes is a couple pick sixes. Joe Milton makes a couple errors. Iowa could legit win. But, I mean, you don't know how the game's going to unfold. I mean, Iowa wins based off other teams' errors on offense. And Tennessee's not the most trustworthy, but I don't know. The talent, Tennessee has the advantage on the talent. But Iowa has the discipline on one side of the ball.
17-13 Iowa.
I'll go 17-13 Tennessee. Okay. There you go. We'll go safe score. I'll go Volunteers. I'll go with the Volunteers. Jason says you can't win if you can't score. I hate to do it, but Tennessee's the better pick. Vomit. So, yeah, I'll go with Tennessee. Same score you did, man. We'll see. One of us will be right.
We're not going to do the playoff games. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. We got the playoff games. We'll be doing those next week. I'm sure find time to do it after Christmas. But, man, it's going to be awesome watching these games. Yeah, Erica, do not be upset at me. Do not. I'm sorry. I almost did, but Iowa's just not that good on offense at all. That I just think Tennessee will be able to maybe win, but that's funny.
I couldn't pick Tennessee, man. I thought I don't know why I'm such a Tennessee hater this year, but I just feel like they shouldn't be ranked.
Well, I mean, if you're 8-4 in the SEC, you're going to be ranked. That's just the way it is. Is it right? That's up for Mark Rodder's top 25. Actually makes sense to decide because his rankings, they make more sense. I don't think that he didn't have Tennessee in the top 25, did he?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Well,
But yeah, I don't think Tennessee was all that either. But Iowa, it's gonna be interesting. I can't wait for that game to see what happens now.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Sorry this was a shorter show, but I don't want to make Jeffrey collapse from exhaustion from doing this.
I appreciate it, man.
We'll see you guys soon. We'll preview the playoff, and then I don't know. Maybe I'll get Jeffrey to preview the NFL playoffs with me.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
All right. Thanks everyone.
Jason. Appreciate it. I'll hopefully be better soon. Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas, everyone. I know, Clint. I know, but that was with Bob Davie and Ty Willingham as the coach.
It's a skewed record. That was
during the dark ages of Notre Dame football. We'll see what happens. All right. Thanks, everyone.